Hey guys, welcome to Muse Themes. I'm Steve Harris, and let's have a look at our new fully responsive template called Pioneer. Now, Pioneer is a great responsive theme that is built for an artist or a portfolio or designer, but the truth is it's a really flexible and really easy to edit site that you could use for any type of business. Now, I have two skins of this site available for you. We've got a light skin, which I'm viewing here. So you can see it's got light backgrounds and light imagery. And we also have a dark skin available, and this is the dark skin. So you can see it's much darker, a little more serious, a little higher end looking. So you've got some flexibility there. Now, in terms of responsive, watch what happens when I scale the browser down. You can see it's beautifully responsive. It's got a really nice mobile menu there all set up. So this theme is available for you as a member of MuseThemes.com, and I want to just run you through some of the finer points of editing this theme. When you first download Pioneer and extract it, you'll see that there is both the dark and the light skin available in the folder, as well as the assets that we've used. So let's go ahead and open up the lighter skin. And we get this notification that says there are assets missing. You've probably seen this on our themes before, and those are the photos that we used in our demo. Those are stock photos that we can't distribute with the themes. So let's just click OK. And now we have the full site layout here. So in terms of this being responsive, there's not a lot different at this point. We've got a couple of different master pages for various areas on the site. And then we've got all the top level and sub level pages all set up here. So let's just click into a page, let's say the home page, and let's have a look at the breakpoint system first. So let me zoom out a bit so that you can see this easier. And on the top bar here is our breakpoint setup. So we've got a breakpoint at 1200, 960, 768, and then you'll notice we've got these two lower breakpoints that they seem a little bit close together. Now, the reason that we included this breakpoint here at 550 is because of the lower limit of a browser to preview these lower breakpoints. I'll show you what that means. Let me preview this in the browser again. So when the site loads in a browser and I scale it down to check out the mobile size, we can't actually go any lower. So I can't even go down to see that 480 breakpoint. And I covered this in my Responsive Design Made Easy video training. We did, though, include a 550 breakpoint that's actually identical in content to 480, so you can see this lower size. But when you open up the site initially, you probably don't want to keep this 550 breakpoint, so you can actually right-click on it and just delete it out completely. And now you've got only the 481. So let's talk about editing some of the images and text in this template. You'll see here that we've actually included some placeholder images. I'll go back to the bigger size. And they say on them that they are 520 by 400. Now, you don't necessarily need to keep those image dimensions, but the way that we've structured this template and the way that it scales down so beautifully is partially because we've controlled all of these image dimensions. So rather than necessarily just clicking on an image, right-clicking and going replace and replacing your own, you may want to go edit original. And when we do that, it's going to open up the photo in whatever your preferred editing tool is. So you might want to change that to Photoshop. So now you can drop your image into this and save over it, and the asset's just going to update in the template. That's a little trick so that you can actually just replace the images and keep those proportions the same so the template doesn't really shift or move around. Another thing that you'll notice in this site is that elements are grouped. So see this grouping here, I can move all of these in one. You'll want to retain those groups. The grouping, as I covered in my video training series, helps keep things together. So if you're going to edit something, I recommend just clicking into the group like that, editing it within, and not actually ungrouping it at all. Now with responsive Muse, one thing that you do want to be aware of as well, and let me go to a different page to show you this, is that whenever you place a new element on the canvas, you'll need to move it around on all the lower breakpoints. So let me just place something small on the canvas. Okay, I'm placing this mock-up of an iMac there. Now, remember that Muse is going to try and guess where it's put it on lower breakpoints. So if I go to the 768 breakpoint, now it's there, and we go down to 550, which remember I deleted at the beginning here. It's there and there. So you'll need to move and shuffle elements around if you add anything new. That's why I recommend with our templates, specifically our responsive templates, that as much as you can, use the elements that are already there. So if you've already got a rectangle here set up with a photo image, just replace the image within that rectangle. Don't replace the whole rectangle itself. And then all the responsive scaling and compatibility will all be there built in. One other thing to note about this template is that we have included in the assets folder more social icons. So we just used a couple on the template. You can see, I think we've got Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. But in the assets folder itself, we've got a ton of different social icons here. So pretty much everything you can think of. That's just so you have a little bit more flexibility with it. Otherwise, all of the other icons that we've used throughout the site, the SVGs and the PNGs, are all included in the assets folder. So just to finish up on this overview video of Pioneer, we've built this site as a great kind of starter framework for a responsive site. It's simple, it's clean, and it works best if you just drop your content into the existing framework we've set up and watch it respond beautifully. If you have any questions or concerns with it, or if you're struggling to get started with responsive in Muse, I urge you to check out our training series on Muse Themes called Responsive Design Made Easy. It's available for members only, and it's a great overview of getting up to responsive, and it'll help you understand how we built this template and why we did some of the things we did. Thanks again for watching. Best of luck with Pioneer. Cheers.